You're listening to the Friends After 40 podcast, where every episode feels like a conversation on your couch with close friends. So grab your coffee or your cocktail and come hang out with us.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Friends After 40 podcast. How's everybody doing today?
Good. That's great.
You know what today is?
Sunday.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the day after Saturday, and it was a great weekend.
Yeah, it was.
We had a good
Had
time.
to very quickly think about the weekend. Yeah,
It was like last night.
Yeah, the weekend was last night. You had to think about it.
We celebrated somebody's birthday. Another mid-40-something somebody.
mid for honey, you're closer to 50 now.
But
Still the youngest out of this crew.
you know what?
By months, James. Literally a few months. Okay.
But it was fun, and we were sitting around having a few cocktails. We had a few cigars. We had a nice dinner, a couple of steaks. It was very good. And during our cigar sort of riddled evening, we were like, hey, we should talk about season 1 and how we feel that went. And so we said, today, why don't we just record a cool little bonus episode? Because that's what this will be. It's a bonus episode. And we're going to recap a little bit some of our favorite aspects of season 1, some of the things that we felt were pretty funny, made us laugh a little bit. And then we'll get into maybe even some of the things that were challenging in through all of this, in building a podcast and launching one, and while having very, very busy lives at the same time. So who wants to start us off and tell us what you think about season 1? What was the best episode that you felt we did? And then share something funny about it, like a story. What do you remember? Who wants to kick us off?
Every episode was the best episode.
Well said.
One of my favorite episodes would be the party etiquette.
That was a good one.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was
That one
pretty
was funny.
educational, right? And it was funny, and I learned that my wife will go through people's medicine cabinets.
Totally. Nothing's changed. Yep.
I think now all your friends are going to be like, I'm not going to keep the good shit in the cabinets.
Yeah.
That's okay. Put it in the drawers.
They're
I'll
gonna
look
hide
there
all
too.
the Adderall.
They're going to hide all the stuff.
And be like, this is a nosy.
All the baby oil's going to be gone.
All the baby oil. Yeah, there'll be no baby oil around. Diddy oil. A little tip, right? So we talked about in that episode how to kind of navigate through a party and navigating through a party with your spouse. And you guys tried it out at a party.
We did, and it kind of worked out.
Well, it worked out for a period of time.
Yeah.
For a little while.
Then we got
and
tired of
then-
each other, and then we just went our
Well,
separate
we
ways.
said
No.
30 minutes, right? Like try half an hour.
And we stood probably longer than that.
That's pretty good.
But it was nice because we spoke to a few people, and then we spoke to a couple, and it was nice.
Yeah.
Got to know them.
Didn't feel manufactured at all. We were like,
It wasn't forced.
we're closing in on 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You ready to move? It's time to move on.
It ended organically. Yeah. But one of you did leave someone stuck with someone, right?
She got stuck on her own.
I got stuck.
Lisa got stuck on her own.
I got stuck, but it wasn't a bad stuck. It was okay. But in my head, I was like, I didn't take my own advice. I was like, oh man, I have no out.
Yeah,
you know?
don't back yourself in
Literally.
the corner.
I literally
Literally.
backed myself into a corner, and I was like, oh. But in that moment, I was like, damn it, I didn't use my own advice. I was like, but I found myself. I was like, I literally am backed into a corner. So whatever, it was fine.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You learn a lot more than you wanted to learn, right? That's how those go.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, that was a really fun episode. I liked it.
That was episode 6, by the way, for
etiquette,
listening
right?
properly.
Yeah. I like that episode too.
The definitive guide to party etiquette.
I think we should do
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah. Yeah, because we had a long list of questions. We didn't make it through that whole list, right?
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of parties coming up.
Yes.
Oh my
where
God.
it's the end of September. So whenever you're hearing this, but for us, it's the end of September, and we've got a Halloween
Yep.
party coming up. We've got holiday
Yep.
parties coming up.
We
Right,
got
so-
Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
Plenty of
God.
opportunity, Lisa, for you to hone your skills, your escape skills.
No.
Plan my route.
I just
Yes.
want to hide.
Plan an escape route.
Yeah.
We're gonna show
I'll
up a
have to
day
pay.
early.
Yeah. I mean, but how many times can you use that one? I gotta use the bathroom. Like they're gonna be like, "What's wrong? She had a bladder infection? Like what's wrong with her?"
Bladder infection. Yeah, and then the conversation turns into, "Did you hear about Lisa's bladder infection?
Yeah, right.
She's
okay?
constantly in the bathroom."
I asked her,
check on
did
her.
you put in for your meds?
I checked the cabinet.
I checked the cabinet.
Yeah.
Check the cabinet. You had nothing.
You have nothing
Didn't
there.
have anything. Only Adderall.
Where are you hiding?
Oh man. So, yeah.
And CBD.
It's CBD.
CBD.
CBD everything. But yeah, that was probably one of the memorable. But I love them all.
Yeah.
So
You love them all.
My favorite was our icebreaker when we were all asked, "What would you bring to a deserted island?" And James said, "A charger."
A phone charger?
A phone
phone
charger.
charger. Yeah. I'm
okay.
like, what do you, all right. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it's
Along
something
with your,
pretty to look
your
at.
plane
But who are you
and
talking
pilot.
to? I want to know. Who are you talking to?
Do you remember the premise of the conversation starter? You said bring something to a deserted island. The island was deserted. Didn't say we didn't have power.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
reminded us
nobody there.
we weren't thinking big enough
You weren't.
Yeah.
I'm bringing a plane
with the pilot.
with a pilot. How many things could we bring? 3?
I think
know.
so.
We were like a
Meanwhile,
pot.
all the ladies were like, we're bringing a fire starter, a pot, all this things to survive and
Filtration.
thrive.
Yeah.
A coat, maybe.
Yeah.
You were like prepared for death and despair. We're like,
we're
I just
Think
want to be
bigger.
able to
Thrive.
like,
You're like,
Think
oh,
bigger.
I
I'm
still
gonna put
have
some
to work.
music on and then I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but who are
charge
you
it.
I'm
charging?
gonna put on my
Why?
Spotify.
You know, I'm just gonna hang out.
There's
I'm
like
by
no
myself.
Wi-Fi
I'm
on
gonna
the
go
island because it's deserted. So what are you doing?
deserted, not without power.
Who?
I stand behind that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
Well,
like,
all I need is 2 things.
one mic, what?
1 plane, 1 pilot.
Because he's gonna go and come back.
Yeah. Come back and make sure it's still deserted.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna
nobody
put
here.
a resort.
Still nobody here.
Just me and the pilot.
I liked both of those episodes. It's hard to pick, right? And then like we were talking right before, right? And some of the stuff that I had suggested, we were like, it wasn't released. And I was like, oh, it's kind of like what did we end up calling it? After Hours?
Yeah.
After hours.
Yeah. Because there was some good stuff in there too.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's called After Hours.
Yeah.
There's like some potential cancellation stuff in that
That
episode.
episode was saucy.
Yes.
What was the episode where, and I'm not sure if it was edited out or not, we shared some, I'll just say, we shared some personal stories. Because I'm not sure if it was edited out or not.
I don't remember
About
the
subway
episodes.
rides, things that happened.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah,
episode
yeah.
was released, but heavily edited
Heavily
Yeah.
by yours
edited.
truly. I had to pay attention to that one hardcore.
That episode was about not some of my best moments
Yes, and
that
until
we
we're
decided not to share with the world.
until
Yeah,
we're
we
rich
won't.
and famous.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to be like, what was it? What did you edit
They're gonna
out?
find the lost tapes.
Yeah.
Oh no! Everyone that I know after listening to this is gonna be like, "What did you cut?"
All 17
Little
of them.
teaser, right? All 17.
Super fans.
17 of them. I don't even know if I have 17 friends.
I don't think we have 17 friends. We have to check your fantasy football draft. See if they're.
If you
Half of them are
include
listening.
them, I mean, yeah. I don't even think all of them listen, so I'm safe.
You're safe.
You're safe. Well, one of my favorites was the vacationing episode, Vacationing with Friends, which is like episode 2, and of season 1, by the way, because we have season 2, episode 2. It's a different episode, but vacationing one because there were some funny things that were shared that I didn't know. Like you guys went on a couple of cruises. And somebody we know ended up in cruise jail, and I didn't know there was
Yeah.
jail on a cruise.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So that was fun.
Yeah. Cruise jail.
That was funny.
That was a good one.
That was hilarious.
I think we all learned. We didn't know either. We were like, there's
Yeah.
a jail on this boat.
Yeah. Or how one of our other friends paddleboarded around in a leopard Speedo.
Yep, that part.
Yeah.
Yep. We were all there to witness that in person.
You can't unsee that.
No.
No, it's
Can't
there
see it.
forever.
Not
Yeah.
sure he wants you to unsee it.
Yeah. No, it's all about
It's like,
unseeing
remember all
the
of this?
scene.
I'm gonna put
hey.
it on again.
And I guess if you have the, I don't know, the confidence. What's the right word?
It is
The
confidence.
confidence to wear it, then
Balls.
it becomes very demure.
Demure.
Was it though? Can we talk about demure?
What is this demure thing?
I don't know.
What is this?
But
What
everyone is
this?
demure apparently. We're all
everyone's
very
using
mindful.
the word. Demure.
Very easy.
Another SAT word. What was the meaning of
where-
demure?
do you know where that?
I
don't
don't
know how it
but
started.
I saw somebody on one of the social media platforms, and he has a very Hispanic accent, and he said, "But what, me? Yo soy demure. I'm demure." And then he was like, "But what is that?" Right? But he keeps saying it, and it's just so darn funny. I was like, "Oh my god, it's just so hilarious."
Yo
And I
soy
was like,
demure.
demure.
Yo soy demure. That's how we should say it. It
Yo
sounds
soy
better.
demure.
It sounds better.
Right? Yeah, it sounds better. But I don't know. Ask the kids.
Demure.
Where does that come from? That's your generation. Y'all started
Yeah.
this. It has to be.
TikTok.
TikTok
TikTok.
started it.
TikTok
Yeah.
started it.
TikTok is the
So,
start
is
of
there
all
any more
things.
hashtags? Hashtag demure? No, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
People
that's-
still
that's-
hashtag, right?
We-
God,
we
we
do-
sound
we do.
crazy
We
right
old.
now.
We-
We
Well,
sound so
I mean,
crazy.
we old.
Do we still do this too?
I mean, our
I mean, I've
our
caught
AI
myself
editor
doing it. I'm the
recommends
only
all
one.
the hashtags. I don't know any of them. AI gives us all the hashtags. I just thought
Yeah, ask the kids again.
I don't know what's trending.
We
Hashtag
still
in?
hashtagging,
Is that still a thing? Okay.
but only to make a
okay.
post more popular.
I had to post something with a video game under it the other night, and so I
And?
had half the screen was one of our shorts, and the bottom half of the screen I had to put a video
And
game
how
on
did it do? How did it do?
I mean,
no, ask,
it did
ask
well.
what video game it was.
What video game?
Contra. Well, it was the 90s
you know that one?
episode.
I've heard of it.
I don't
So
even know
I was
that
very
one.
mindful.
First of all, I used to
And
love
I was like
Demure.
Pac-Man.
Demure. He said he was very mindful.
I was
Were
very
you demure
mindful.
also?
Pac-Man's the 80s.
Demure.
I'm older.
Demure. Yo soy demure.
So that's the thing, putting video games because
Space Invaders.
in case no one wants to listen to us on TikTok, they'll watch the video game at least,
Okay.
and we'll get credit for it.
Okay, I mean whatever works.
What things surprised you about the podcast? Like just in general.
Surprising about
Yeah.
the podcast.
I'll start.
Go ahead, because
a lot.
I have something to look at.
So for me, one of the first things was I think when we were talking about it versus what this is, did not expect this at all. At all. I'm not really sure what I expected. It was not this.
It wasn't this.
No, at all.
So how do you feel now?
I mean, I'm okay. I think I've shared with you guys like the whole camera thing. Not that I mind it, but I'm always like, damn, I got to pull this together now. You know what I mean? It's one thing when you're not being seen, but it's another thing when you're like, hi, you know what I mean? And you're like, okay, what am I wearing? What are my sneakers? All of that.
Do I look tired?
Do I
Is
look
my
tired?
hair-
Do I? Yeah. For us with the hair. But no, it's been fun. It's funny because I know during the summer we switched to recording on Tuesdays because summers are so busy, right? We're hanging out and doing all the fun stuff. And so, but that meant like recording after work and most of us were tired. It's just the end of a day, right? Like you're just tired. But I always felt like, yeah, I'm tired, but I actually look forward to it because it doesn't feel like work. We're sitting around, we're talking, we're doing the thing that we would normally do. And so that I really liked. And I was like, hey, if this turns into something, how awesome would that be? Because we're doing the thing that honestly the four of us do.
We're doing often.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I did. I think surprised myself. You guys don't know this because I didn't share it. I didn't want to be the negative Nelly, but I actually like it a lot more, I think, than I thought I would. But I think it was also because I wasn't really.
You didn't know what was going to happen.
No,
Yeah.
and maybe it was better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't know. I took the leap anyway, and it was good. It's fun.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all fine.
I mean, I second some of that. I didn't think that it would be to this extent, like full blown studio. When the idea first came about, I thought it was going to be like some of the things you've done in the past, where we would just be sitting around a round table in front of a microphone and it'd be only audio.
Yeah.
And yeah, this has been a wild ride. That's very, very enjoyable.
I think my hardest part about doing this is coming up with topics.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
topics.
I feel like that's the one. Because
Yeah.
you just got to be mindful, right? It's like
Yeah.
a people going to be engaged? Are they
Yeah.
going to listen? Is it good enough? And
Yeah.
I think that for me is still the hardest thing
Yeah.
for this. But everything else I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because outside of this, we sit and we talk about a lot, right?
Yeah.
And it's, what do we talk about that other people want to hear us talk about?
Yeah.
That can also spark conversations on their couch.
Right.
And that's where it becomes
Yeah.
a challenge, because
Challenging.
everybody doesn't want to talk about all the things that we
No.
talk about. So,
But I think we've all gotten like good feedback from friends and people we know who listen, who actually, however they tune in, whether it's, just audio or YouTube or whatever. But I think the comments are good. I wish as the audience grows, I hope that we get to a point where the audience feels like they can throw some comments in.
Right.
Because I think that would be really good for us too. But yeah, I mean, the topics have definitely been challenging. I think as newbies to this, I think we've done a good job though. Like the first season, I think we had it was a nice balance of like the funny and some points serious. And I think there were a lot of points where we all, like, you kind of know, it was like a feeling, right? At the end of
Yeah.
of an episode, you're
It was
like,
like, oh, that was a good one. Or
Yeah,
that one was
yeah,
like,
you're like, yeah. But you keep at it.
yeah.
Lots of topics. And I think season 2, so we're looking to figure out how to, I guess, keep the format we have, but enhance it a little bit.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see too.
Yeah. There's also
things.
been a bunch of growing pains.
Yeah.
I mean, we had some episodes we lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we had episodes we recorded a full hour, and the mics weren't on.
Yeah. Who knew?
So it's all like off of the Apple microphone on our MacBook, and it was a 50-minute long. You
That was
know
a
what it
good
takes
one.
to try to record a 50-minute episode.
It was a good one too.
Yeah,
That
it was
was
a good one.
And
was a
we
good one.
lost that one.
What about the episode where the camera just stopped recording?
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
fun.
It just stopped. Right? Gab's back there flagging us down, like things just stopped.
Yeah.
Or Maya's back there flagging us down. So we had a couple of whoopsies.
Yeah.
Had to get up and restart.
Yep.
And get going again.
Yep.
Every time we come down here, we have to reset cameras.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a pain. So you don't know how long it's going to take before we get rolling. Usually we like to have a cocktail before we do that. So that extends another 20 minutes. So when we intend to get started, and by the time we actually get rolling is a solid hour
Usually, yeah.
before we get rolling. And some days we have a topic, some days we don't. Some days we roll with it. Other days we're like, that was terrible. Or that was
was great.
pleasantly surprising.
Yeah.
I love it.
Lisa and I always feel like someone's playing in our chairs.
Yeah. All the time.
We're like, this is not how we left the
Nope.
chairs. Someone was
We
in
like
them.
podcast
Who was in
ghosts.
them? No one knows.
No one knows. The same person who
Your chairs
broke
are fine,
the
though.
garbage can. That's the
Right.
person.
Yeah. We're not even going to talk about the kids just breaking things.
They just break everything. Anyway.
But
yeah.
we've also had some really good surprises, like when we had DMC join. So we had our first guest turn out to be a huge celebrity.
Right.
So going back to what I said, things I did not see, I did not see that
Right.
coming at all.
Right?
I don't think either of us.
No.
We were like, huh? This is happening? Like it was
Yeah,
like
totally
I
surreal.
I can't speak for you guys, but that day I was so flipping nervous. Like my face was just like
You weren't alone.
you
couldn't tell.
because you were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. It's fine. Everything's fine."
Everything's fine. It's fine.
I wasn't fine. I'm s- anxious as all.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
anxious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because we learned that we were going to have him on probably, was that July? When we went to the barbecue?
No, it was like May or
festival?
June.
We went to the festival.
Yeah,
in-
wasn't it
in-
like June, like
It was
early
like-
summer?
Yeah, it was early summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was early summer, and then we just recorded him in September, early September, right?
Yeah.
right.
So that was a couple of months in the making, but we didn't have, and it's hard, right? You can't get a huge heads up or a huge lead time,
Right, he's super
because
busy.
Yeah, he's
his,
super
his
busy.
schedule
Yeah.
is super busy. He's flying around the world doing his thing, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, he's got time on Friday, and we're like, okay,
Yep.
take the day off, figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure out, ordered a fifth mic like 2 days
Yeah.
before he showed up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Figured out how to plug it all in.
Yep.
Fifth mic
bought
troubleshoot.
all the cables. Some of them we're not even using now. It's just, right? Just bought everything to make sure that it all works.
And it
So
did. It was great. Like, how much fun was that?
It was a lot of fun.
Talk about a pinch me moment. Like, I was just like, what the hell is happening?
It's like,
First
who
of
are
all,
we, right?
I was like, he's in our house, in our basement.
On our
Like, not our
podcast.
fancy studio in the city. It was it's like this thing that we all created. And I was just like, he's here.
And he was blown away when he came down here, and he was like, well, this is serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was funny because right when he came in, and we had been here all morning preparing, setting up shop, making sure everything is working, good to go. I came in the night before, we were testing everything. Everything was good to go. And then it's like the deer in the headlights when he's here and got in, and within like 3 minutes of him being here, he's like, okay, let's go, ready to go and do this.
And we were like, huh?
And we were like, Ram.
We're like, you ready? We're ready.
Right?
We're not ready.
We're not ready.
Yeah.
Came downstairs. I'm in the corner practicing my opening.
Oh my God, you chose the toughest. I have to say, I have to give you so much credit, like to open it because so when you were opening inside, I was just like, okay, it's gonna be fine. You can do this. You'll find the words. I think all of us probably were, but you had to talk right from the beginning. But you did, as you always do, right? Like you pulled through. You did it. You said what needed to be said, and it was great. And no one. I mean, I think all of us were kind of having a moment, probably privately, not, but in public.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Right,
on video.
Yes.
Video.
It's been recorded.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
he's fine, and I think that helped because he's so genuinely nice and down to earth. It kind of
gosh.
helps to put you at ease right away.
yeah.
In my head, I'm like, just forget who he really is. Just
Right.
try. But how do you forget? I'm looking at him, I'm like, I can't even believe I'm
he's
sitting.
here.
Yeah, and that
We're
we're
having a
talking. We're
conversation.
talking like we actually know each other. I don't know him.
Yeah.
You know?
Forget that he's someone who took hip hop mainstream,
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a big deal.
changed the world.
That little thing.
Not a big deal at all.
You know.
Yeah. He made that comment. He said, remember when you go into a supermarket and you see someone you know in your town?
Yes.
And you have to remember their
Yes.
name. He was like, well, that's the same for me. But the supermarket is the world for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was such a big comment to me. I was
Yes.
like, he's like, what you do in town is like me out in the world. And I
Yeah.
was like, wow, he really
Wow.
does.
Yeah.
He's running around the world
Yeah.
and he's got all the perspective and all the clout and it was just really, really cool.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Salt
For
of the
us.
earth.
Yeah.
And
But
then
so much humility. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, honestly.
and then he wants to come back for Christmas.
I know.
I mean,
because it's
spoiler alert,
Christmas
but,
time,
like,
Yeah,
right?
I mean-
he wants to come back like he was like, hey,
I know.
what are you guys doing over the holidays?
Bum,
I was
I
was like, we eat chicken and collard greens. That's what we're doing this holiday season.
Damn right. Damn, like, I don't know. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's like, we should do this again. It was fun. I'm like, was it? I thought it was fun. You thought it was fun? Like, I was just so like floored by his comments. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, who are we?
Yeah.
Versus him. But it was just so cool. So again, like if you had told me when did we sit down to plan this? Was it January?
January.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That this is where we'd
would
be,
be,
and we
yeah.
would having guests on and all of that. No.
And now we've got a few in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just had cigars and Mac 12 last night with a retired NFL player who was
Yep.
like, what are we doing on the podcast? I
Yeah.
was like, all right, rock
Let's
and
do
roll.
it.
You're up.
Yeah.
Guess what? Calendar's open. You're in luck. And then he was like, I'm free Monday through Friday, 9 to
9 to
12.
12,
And
yeah.
my mom was like, you're the only one retired around here.
That's right.
I was like,
That's right.
we have jobs.
Yeah. We're gonna do 9 a.m. to 12 on a Sunday.
We'll see you Sunday
We also
before the
have
NFL ticket starts.
hip hop producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, a
Yeah.
very early days
Yeah.
producer for a very famous label.
Yeah.
Famous and
Keep it there.
infamous.
Famous and infamous.
I don't know.
Famous
is he in
and
the
infamous?
news right now? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know, but we look forward to
Tune
that
in
day.
and see. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're also going to have some guests that are not famous, but just to add like another layer another
Perspective.
perspective to our conversations, and I'm so looking forward to that.
Me too, ladies.
Ladies' night,
Yeah.
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 And the guys will have their own thing, and it'll be, I think, a nice way to mix things
Yep.
up.
A nice balance.
Yeah, a nice balance, because that's some of the feedback I've gotten. I think maybe we all have, like, people are really looking forward to hearing, what's the right word? I guess that other person's perspective,
Female
right?
perspective.
Yeah.
Without men
I've
around.
gotten I've gotten suggestions on like generational perspectives, gender perspectives, like all types of. So I think it gives us a lot of room to play with different types of guests.
Yep.
So we can talk about all that. Because, you know, when you think about like us being friends after the age of 40, there's so many things, right? And I don't know what it says about me, but my Instagram, I keep getting these memes about about how old people were on to something when they eat early and do all that stuff. And I'm like, is this spreading? Because I'm here for that every day.
Yes,
I
will
want to do everything
the
by
senior
5 o'clock.
Hour. I'm for
Right?
that.
Here for
Yes.
it.
Senior hour.
Oh,
Right.
100%. 100%.
I need
But
to
yeah.
be
But yeah.
already digested by like 6:30.
All of
But I
that.
do-
It's
I
all
do
over my
like-
feed. I don't know why.
I do like the idea of having our local friends come on, and we have a pretty diverse friend group, even in our little bubble here
Yeah.
in town, who are who, by the way, in their own respects, are someone in their industry or something like
Yeah.
that. So that's
Yeah.
even cool. Being able to tap into that locally, and hopefully they're accepting of coming on and hanging with us.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I mean, I think the next couple of seasons are going to be awesome, and I'm saying couple of seasons because we're going to do more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is just the beginning, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'll talk about how going through this process, especially starting and just like watching our progress. So watching the views and constantly seeing how many people liked it, how many people watching. I mean, that's been probably one of the biggest struggles in doing this, because of course you want to put out great content, but you want everyone to consume it, and you want it to go viral immediately. And I mean, that hasn't been the case. It's
It's a slow
our
burn,
show has been like
Yeah.
a slow burn, the slow crawl.
but it's not out.
It's
still going.
right.
That's
But
right.
it's not out. It's not going, and we continue to be motivated. I think to do this. But I tell you, sometimes you do like, oh man, are people ever gonna gravitate towards it, or are we always gonna have just a small population of people who become like super fans? But when it all boils down, really, it's while we do this, we have fun doing it. It's very enjoyable. It's something that we'd be doing even if the microphones weren't in front of us. And I just foresee us continuing down the road, just doing this. I mean, I look forward to doing it, and I have fun doing it.
Yeah.
So
I've gotten a lot of questions on our production setup here, right? Because there's only a few of us, and so we only have but so much time, and we haven't outsourced anything anywhere. So we did the research to find really like the best software and technology to help us produce this in a way that lightens up the workflow as best as possible,
right.
without also spending an arm and a leg with all the outsourcing, right? So we did the best we could with the budget that we gave ourselves to
I mean, it's homegrown.
to
which
buy,
is nice.
right? So we bought 3 cameras. We have the Canon M50 Mark IIs, so we have 3 of those on really good tripods. We have some newer lighting and some older lighting, and not newer the brand, but newer in terms of it's only a couple years old, some of the lighting that we have in here. Some of the lighting is brand new. We'll probably share at some point what that is, maybe maybe provide even some links when we find the time to become affiliates for any of this stuff, right? So we've got to find the time to do that. But right now we found the time to do this because we bought the right things. So we bought a Rodecaster Pro 2 that allows for the Shure SM7B mics to not need cloud lifters. We bought the right arms here.
Now you say we, right? It's mostly you because you're talking about all this stuff and I don't know any of it. So
Well-
you're the one who I feel like, for me, Like you did a lot of the research
Yeah.
and you did all that stuff. So-
You sent us the YouTube videos.
yes.
Yes.
Did we watch them, James?
I don't know.
I can speak for
We did.
myself.
We
No, I didn't.
That's-
But
yeah.
mine made me watch one, at least one.
Oh my God. I sent all the YouTube
Yeah.
videos out because it is, if you do it, you have to, there's perspectives, and every video has a shade of a certain perspective, and you have to learn that and just add that to your repertoire of everything that
But
you
I think
learn.
you
over and
did a
over.
good job of like taking all that information and pulling out what was probably best for our setup.
Yes.
Like, what do you call this desk again?
We call it
The
the
mega
mega
desk.
desk.
The mega.
It's basically a stand-up desk that has the laptop,
Has all the things.
two monitors. It's got an arm for the third camera, for the center camera. It's got the Rodecaster Pro on it. It's on wheels should we need to move the studio around for some strange reason. And I picked that up again off of YouTube, and everything is connected to it, and it fits exactly what our needs are
Yep.
for right now. The rest, we went to like Home Goods. We bought a bunch of furniture,
Yeah.
Yep.
figured that out.
Remember that?
Some
Remember
stuff from your house.
driving from
Yeah.
Home Goods to find
Yep.
chairs?
To find
I got
chairs.
pulled over for speeding with
You almost
one
got-
of these seats
Yeah.
in the back, and the guy's like, "Hey, where are you coming from?" And I'm like, "Home Goods." It's like, check out the seat in the back. He's like, "Oh, where are you putting it?" I was like, "The man cave." I don't know. I was just so yeah. I got pulled over doing that,
Trying to talk himself out of a ticket.
trying to
The
get
man cave.
The man cave. Yeah. So we were trading secrets with the officer there. So did that.
But did you get a ticket?
No, got out of the
Yeah,
ticket.
see? Fine.
Got out of the ticket. All good. But even like the software here, so we have a newer a 2024 MacBook Air running on an M1 chip that allows us to run the ecamm software. Ecamm software is what we use to produce and record and use multicam and do all the things. And we have that connected to the 3 cameras connected to a Stream Deck. The Stream Deck allows our camera switcher, Gav, what's up, Gav, back there? Switching cameras back and forth there. Allows him to follow us and run the whole production, and we do it in one take is the point
Yep.
there.
Right.
That
Yep.
we're able to do this
When
all
the mics
in-
are on.
in one, when the mics are on.
mics are on.
When the mics are turned on.
Great point.
Yeah, really good point. But we had to spend a little bit in order to reduce the workflows because I've done some podcast production in the past that was Frankensteining the Zoom H6 to a small headphone jack that allows for 4 headphones before even the Rodecaster was out and things like that. And for this one, it was, guys, if we're going to do it, we need to do it and give us the greatest chance of surviving with highest level of quality production possible, knowing that we're all novices and this gives us a fighting chance. So I'll definitely link ecamm in the video there. So if anyone's interested or you're building your own podcast, and I think for video, no better software right now. There's OBS, there's other things out there that require much more expertise and probably skill set and knowledge. This allows you to get off the ground so quickly. It's called ecamm Live, which is actually a streaming, it's built as a live stream software. It's used in churches around the country. It's used for media outlets that are on location. And lately it's been used for like content creators, YouTubers, whatever, and they are streaming out to their audiences. So I'm going to get off my soapbox there because I've been geeking out for a second,
Yeah.
but
I mean, you went straight geek.
I went in. Sorry. You opened up the door.
No, but it's
I went for it.
But it's great because it shines a light on all of the things that we had to do to roll out the show.
Yeah.
I remember our first meeting, right? And we had the giant Post-it notes all over the room.
Yeah, all over the room.
And talking about the to-dos, things that needed to get done, who was going to do what, the timelines, how we're going to execute on all these things. So it was more than just saying, hey, guys, let's just start a podcast.
Right.
There was a lot of
was a lot of
planning
thought.
and preparation and a lot of research, especially on your end, to go into delivering what we deliver now and what I hope we deliver until we can't talk anymore. You know what I mean? And in all formats of it, and however we can push out and deliver our message to people. So I think it's been a journey, right? But I feel like it's still just beginning, and I'm here for it.
And if you're watching this or you're listening, whatever you're doing, if you're watching it, we're open to critique. We're open to getting better and understanding. So we've got some basic things going on in here. We've got some high-end stuff and we've got some really basic stuff. And it's like, how do we just get better? Whether it's our interviewing practices or it's our story flow, storytelling, tell us we're going in one direction or the other. Just give us a comment. Let us know.
Something that we didn't. So we did talk about going to Home Goods, but we didn't talk about all of the design that went into this. And Lee, you played a huge part in designing this studio.
Thank you, I guess.
You did.
What do you mean? I guess. Yeah.
I feel like we all put our hand in it.
Yeah. But
No, you guys presented it, and I was like, "Yep, I like it."
you definitely had the vision. You definitely had the vision, and you knew there wouldn't be a tree behind me. Like I don't.
Yeah,
You know
I was
what
like,
I'm
you
saying?
pulled some
Like,
things
it's
from your house.
like,
Yeah, I meant your house.
Yeah. This is courtesy of our dining room.
Yeah.
Right.
It looks better here.
That one's the bookshelf is courtesy of our guest room back at the house.
I mean, it looks good here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the color is the color of your club
Yeah,
room upstairs,
yeah.
which I think went really, really well
Yes,
with
I agree.
with our style, and it matched.
So I'm saying, like, we all played a part, like
Yeah.
all of us. But
Yeah.
thank you. If you think it was me, all right, I'll take it. I'll take it.
The tough part for this is like staying on track, right?
Yeah.
I think we don't necessarily struggle. I mean, we struggle with topics here and there, but thankfully we've take heed from other entrepreneurs or other podcasters, and we've batched episodes, right?
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
batched episodes to make sure that we just got stuff in the pipe, ready to
Right.
go, that we never find ourselves scrambling to be able to put out a new episode or put out new content. So thankfully we're doing that, but it's been hard to keep up, I will say, with like the editing process. So we're using a lot of AI to help us get the shorts done, to help us get the TikToks and everything out there. So we're using a lot of AI, but even that, it's not perfect. So you have to spend some time working on that, and that can get pretty time consuming really quickly, but not time consuming the way it was 2-3 years ago, when it would take 4 or 5 hours to
Wow.
edit an audio episode.
Wow.
Now it's like we use, if anyone's interested out there, we use video.ai. I use that to get our shorts and our clips. We use Descript for our editing of audio as well as a little bit of video. Export that. Sometimes I'm using Camtasia to put some finishing touches on things. Sometimes I'm using Opus Clip. I was going to say Opus One, but that's what we like to drink. Opus Clip.
He's like, why are you
said
looking
wine?
at me? Was I supposed to finish
No,
that sentence?
right? I'm like,
She said wine?
Yep. Opus Clips.
That's the only opus I know.
Yeah, right. He's like, what?
Why?
We use CapCut to be able to create things. So we're using all the things, and you got to get a subscription to all of this stuff. So we're talking $300 a year times X number of
Membership.
subscriptions. That's why they call me Membership Jimmy. I got all the memberships.
All the memberships.
Technology or otherwise, or socially. We were talking about that. What?
All the
today?
We're gonna save that
memberships.
for another episode.
There you
I
go.
know.
Anywho. All right, so let's wrap this one up,
Mm-hmm.
gang. It's Sunday. We got to get ready and figure out what we're doing about dinner.
Sunday.
Right? So thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the notification bell. Subscribe. Do all the things and come hang out with us next time on the Friends After 40 podcast.
Later.
Later, y'all.